This real-side experience would begin with me in a kind of a preparation place or area, although much of the detail was lost to my personal self. During the experience and on waking, the overall sense of the purpose of this preparation area would become apparent. The personal self can only describe what it is visually shown, which would be then a created situation for its perceptual benefit. Any additional insights or impressions beyond that must stem from the real awareness, or in the very least, the ethereal vehicle, the intuitive part of the personal self, the part closest, in literal terms, to the real awareness. For if accessed, the intuitive ethereal self is absent of the baggage of the created consciousness, mind, and emotions. The visual side of the experience somewhat lacking just an overall colour, and that being white, although I was clearly able to define individuals in human body forms who were with me here in this preparation area. I would have suggested this was a view of the point before the assumption of a new physical vehicle in creation. Evidently, if finding oneself in such a situation, one would have been unsuccessful in recognizing the ears during the previous lifetime, hence the necessity to have another try, as it were, as this is the purpose of these simulated created lifetimes, that of recognizing what we really are, beings of real light, and recognizing the true reality life is, the all is, that the real awareness, the real you is. In such a situation, in a place of preparation, prior to the assumption of a new physical level body and life, there would be in essence two viewpoints, that of the personal self and the real awareness. From this between creational lifetime position, the personal self would have the view in accordance with its created consciousness construction, its experience beyond the physical on transition, and between physical lifetimes, would be as it had agreed and decided upon, or that which it had agreed to from others. Generally, then, most would reside in agreed to heavenly abodes of the astral level. Interestingly, Duane has spoken of how individuals literally wait patiently in excessively long queues that stretch across the galaxy, waiting for their turn to enter a physical body and attempt to wake up again. From the real awareness view, a position between physical lifetimes may well be a kind of a preparation with the guides, if indeed the real awareness is on the process of recognizing itself, or is getting ready to begin such a recognition. And of course, the extent to which the personal self be afforded this view, depending on the recognition and awareness of the individual. The colour white, that which was the main feature in this real side experience, is the colour associated with the real universes of the true reality, as the white very much represents the purity of this reality. So we might surmise this was a view of the preparation area between lifetimes in creation, with a combination of real awareness recognition and also imagery for the benefit of the personal self, due to my not having the recognition enough that I could decipher and read the all is as it actually is. Although the colour white, even though associated with the ears, could be construed as a visual also, a reference, the same as any other created feature, for the ears wouldn't be a colour that the personal self can relate to. It simply is a reality beyond any experiential reference the personal self has known, including colours. But anyway, as I waited here with these other individuals, a group of what looked like Africans entered the scene. They looked rather militarized in their poise and mannerisms, though exuded a strong awareness, and in fact were a cheerful and light-hearted bunch. It was as though they were tasked with assisting us in this preparation place, and I and the others were each provided by these Africans what looked like a gun with a single bullet. We were told by them as to the absolute value of this gun and bullet, and the Africans also would say how many individuals would construe this gun and bullet as having a great value, but generally would not recognize the significance of it. With guns and the firing of bullets tending to represent the expressing of ideas to others, of literally shooting ideas at people, this experience feature was along these lines. A single bullet, and the gun that housed it, of great value, as the Africans would tell us, would suggest the idea that was the bullet was that of the real purpose of recognizing the ears. And what idea could be more important and valuable than that? And when it came down to it, this was the only idea you really needed, the intent to recognize the ears, and then everything stems from that. and in the meantime, we do what we need to manage the personal self and create what we do to earn our way, etc. Being a bullet that we would fire from this gun, indicating also the idea of sharing the opportunity of awareness with others, of this being the primary idea we would promote in creation. And for those lacking awareness and recognition, they might see value in this idea, but not be able to get beyond the literal ideas of the references to the ears and to the actual recognition that these idea references hint at. For the references to anything can never be the reality of them. Perhaps then the unaware might construe the knowledge as having value, as having perhaps controlling mechanism potential, much like Joni, who thought the rod of power was an actual artifact she could wield, whereas it was a position to be recognized. Interestingly, just prior to us reinserting our awareness into a new physical vehicle in creation, all the guns went curiously missing, along with the bullets. This, of course, is to be expected, as despite whatever preparations we make before assuming a new physical life, preparations through the personal self and the real awareness, once entering a new physical body, we have no personal recollection of anything prior to the lifetime we have now newly assumed. We have a fresh mental vehicle, devoid of data content, and although we do have the causal akashic files of our lifetimes and experiences, these are generally inaccessible to the personal self. And although we have the real awareness overview of everything in creation and all the lifetimes its created vehicles have had, this too must be connected with and recognized for such information to be available to the personal self. And despite perhaps being on our process of awareness, and with the intent maintained to continue with it into the next physical lifetime, because of the automatic situation of access being denied to akashic record data and a real awareness connection that must be re-established again for creational overview access, there's no guarantee the personal self will pick up the process and proceed where it left off. And indeed, the references that pertain to the true reality that are essential for the personal self to begin the process of awareness may not be available. The new presentation may not necessarily be in existence if we return again in a future physical level lifetime. Children do have the natural connection with their real awareness each lifetime around, but all too quickly they are literalized and indoctrinated and absorbed into the created social consciousness, and this blocks and obscures then this real awareness connection. And although a real awareness connection is initially present before this indoctrination, the recognition of the ears through the real awareness must still be achieved. And so, the gun with its singular bullet idea, that of recognizing the ears, the only idea we ever really need, would naturally vanish from sight prior to entry, the real purpose forgotten, as we move into a new body vehicle with an empty data file of memory references. For the Kalorm God makes it so, that all who enter creation have a little adjustment made to their created vehicles that ensures generally no access is made available to the Akashic storehouse of itself, as naturally recollection of an awareness process we once were on and intended to continue with would make such a process easier to pick up again, and of course the Kalorm God's decided role is to keep all in creation, so for him to do this makes sense from his controlling perspective, and naturally those dark force individuals most entrusted to him would not be so limited. They would not have this additional adjustment, nor would any dark force characters who would be more effective in their controlling roles with access to previous lifetime informations. This planet Earth needs a lot of help from all of us right now. Dean Val of NUUU, Nations United, UNUversal, UNUversity, is contacting people around this world every day to share the importance of the all-natural environment supporting all of us. Dean Val and Dwayne Lee Hepner.org 501c3 have created CAN, Community Action Network, to help all communities become aware of how to be self-sufficient with permaculture and food and rainforests. We are always looking for real people to step up who want to learn what life on this earth is all about. We will be leasing large portions of land to create something wonderful for all communities everywhere. Contact Val Vittles on Skype and Facebook, and through the phone number and the website DwayneTheGreatWriter.net provided in the links, to get involved with what we all can do now. the NUUU, Nations United UNUversal UNUversity, is dedicated to supporting and providing a real purpose and real awareness with the all-natural environment supporting all of us. First comes this earth, with food and rainforests, and to protect what is still here. For those who have the awareness to see what is actually taking place here, with all the natural devastation, which is also purposely planned by world controllers, you now have a real opportunity to step up and do something with those who also care about your planet Earth. Dwayne Lee Hepner has created the NUUU, Nations United UNUversal UNUversity, which completely entails the all-natural environment everywhere, and a real education that has real value, and that far surpasses any commonly created indoctrinating educational system that does not focus on what sustains all of us naturally. Real survival makes sense with everything here that is self-sustaining.